Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. I was mute.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Niranjan. Nagappan here.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Ajit Jain from Ronak Steels Trading Private Limited.
Good evening, sir. Hearty welcome.
So can we start or should we wait for another 2 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes. 4:35
Okay.
we'll start.
Okay. Yeah.
For 4:35 we'll start the program. Another 3 minutes to go.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You can start, Chitra.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I now invite you for the webinar organized by Hindustan Chamber of Commerce on enhancing quality of accounting and financial statements. I now call upon CAK Suresh, President, Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to welcome the gathering and to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Chitra. Good evening to all. On behalf of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, I'm extending my warm welcome to today's speaker, CA Niranjan Vok, members of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, past presidents, the others who gathered today to participate in this webinar on enhancing quality of accounting and financial statements. Hindustan Chamber of Commerce is one of the oldest chambers in India. We are conducting many programs like this for the benefit of members. We are having around 900 members, more than 900 members. And that itself shows that it is one of the largest Chamber of Commerce. We are also conducting useful programs to benefit members as well as others also. So my kind request to all the participants that in case you are not member, kindly join as member. That is the first request. Second thing is, any one of you is a good writer, please send good articles to our journal. We always welcome articles for our journal also. That way, we can supplement, rather we can enhance the knowledge, rather share the knowledge with others also. Today's topic is enhancing quality of accounting and financial statements. Many businesses, when they start their business, their focus will be only on starting the business, putting in force the what's called frontline sales force. Then there won't be much focus on the accounting aspect. Many businesses, they are following this model because they will give more weightage to the sales initially, rather 2 to 3 years, rather than giving weightage to the accounts. Even many of the organizations, business houses, forget the accounting also. They won't focus on the accounts, particularly a proprietorship type company or partnership type model. They will focus only on what comes in, what goes out only, but they are not bothered about whether we are making profit or loss, whether our books are reflecting exactly what we are doing. See, first the recording of events is very important in a right manner. Then enhancing the quality comes into picture. If the recording itself is not proper, then the enhancing is not going to happen at all. So the most important thing for every individual who runs a business is that all events relating to the business is properly recorded and reflecting in the form of P&L or balance sheet, so that the stakeholders of the organization will have what is called a 100% truthful view of that company. Otherwise, you are misleading to the stakeholders about the financial status, which is not going to help the company in the long run. So in order to sustain or in order to improve your position in the society, in order to enhance the valuation of your entity, it is necessary that the accounts must be properly maintained. Above all, the quality also should be ensured. So from this angle only, we thought, I think there is a scope for all of us to focus on enhancing the quality of accounts as well as financial statements. And Mr. Niranjan Vok rightly agreed for present this to this forum. Now it's my privilege also to introduce today's speaker, CA Niranjan Vok. He is actually a postgraduate in Commerce, MCOM studied. Then he is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, then Institute of Company Secretaries of India. And he also qualified in system analyst, that is DISA. He is in practice from January 2011. His practice focus is on loan syndication, internal audits, RERA. Most interestingly is that he founded this NDCube Technologies Private Limited in 2018 with the objective of enhancing the quality of accounts and financial statements. In fact, he launched a channel, rather a product called Ledger Vision in April 19. Currently, this particular model or product is being used by more than 350 CA firms, as well as 1,000 users using this particular model, Ledger Vision. By Ledger Vision, what he aims is that the quality should be improved, our quality must be ensured not only in the accounting but also in the financial statements. So I think the ultimate objective of today's webinar is that to give you a fair idea of how to improve the quality, what are the tools available, how to make use of it, so that the organization also benefited, the stakeholders also benefited by giving a true and fair picture of the entire business. So with these words, I am leaving the floor to Mr. Niranjan Vok. Sir, it is yours, please.
Thank you, Krishnamurthy sir, for such an introduction. Let's start with the presentation. I will first share my screen, then we can start with the presentation. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the topic is huge. There are many areas, but I have tried to summarize because I have to show you how software or expert system will also help you. So name of the topic, as sir said, enhancing the quality of accounting and financial statements. So let's begin. So what is the basically importance of the accounting? Because as sir said, when anyone starts business, is focuses on procuring the material and selling. So production, material procuring and selling, and accounting is then is a secondary part for him. But now the practices are such that businessman has to be multi-talented. He has to do business. He has to be on toes for accounting, etc. He has to be on toes for marketing also. So I have bifurcated the importance in from the point of view of business and from the point of view of compliances as well. So basically, there should be perfect accounting structure that tracks all the incomes and expenditure. Now, you must be knowing there are two types of, basically broadly speaking, two types of income and expenditure. One is capital expenditure, which in turns may be investment in assets, machinery, etc. And one is revenue, income and expenditure. So that bifurcation and the treatment of that expenditure is very important. Nowadays, what happened, there can be a businessman who is, so it should not be a situation that businessman should on himself is go for doing accounting on the whatever the software he is using. So there must be a good accountant and he knows all the details of the accounting. Now currently as a CA we are facing this problem because we are also not getting good trained articles or trained accountants. Same problem is with our clients also. So that's why there must be some expert system who will review the system, who will track the accounting done by the users. Then second part is stakeholder management. So stakeholder, what are the stakeholders? They can be debtors, creditors, even employees, investors, our bankers, even government is our stakeholder. Okay. So if you don't properly account everything, you cannot judge or you cannot judge the inputs given by the stakeholders. For example, in case of employees also, you have to maintain the record for PA, PSI, GST, or whatever the labor fund, etc. They are, whatever the laws applicable to you. So without a proper accounting and maintenance of data, you cannot give the proper treatment to the expenditures which are required by law. Third is working capital management, which is very, very important, which is the backbone of any business. So even to get a loan from bank also, you need to maintain detailed accounting. You need to provide a certain tentative balance sheets, etc. And then your accounting should be in a such a way that it can provide you important ratio analysis for bankers also to to provide the working capital limits. So what is working capital? That is the gap between your incomes and your expenditures. Okay. So whatever amount you are getting from debtors and whatever amount you are going to pay to creditors, the gap should be financed by some kind of working capital. So debtors management, creditors management, and inventory management, and with the investors. Suppose you are having bank loans or you can have the investors. So all four corners should be well prepared and well maintained. So recovery as well as payments should be maintained so that your working capital cycle can be defined precisely, and then that can be financed with the proper investors or proper banking channels. MIS is the most important part of your business, and I can say even in my case, only 90% of clients are ignoring MIS. We are following them up, we are providing them some of the services, and those who are availing the services of MIS or even if they don't want to avail the service, we train their accountants to prepare the MIS reports. There can be 10 to 22 reports are there, which are very important. Maybe in terms of aging analysis or marginal costing, PV ratios, etc., BEP, etc. Then in case of inventory also, there are multiple reports are required. But with the help of MIS, you can manage your costing also. You can maintain your resources. You can utilize your optimum resources at optimum level. So that is very important part. Even costing. So you need to understand the costing. If the correct accounting is not there, you cannot bifurcate the cost relating to inventory costing is there. If you want to hold the inventory for, say, depending upon the shelf life, the inventory cost is there. Then maintenance cost is there, production cost is there, marketing cost is there. So you have to determine the all. So direct and indirect costs are there, and fixed and variable costs are there. So you have to bifurcate the data. If you don't account correctly, you cannot bifurcate the data precisely, and then you cannot come up with the correct costing of the product. If you don't know the costing, you cannot price the product, because you have to price the product in different market. You have to design the marketing strategies. You have to design the discount strategies, etc. For that, you must be knowing the costing part of the products also. Then again, inventory management is there. There are multiple areas of inventory management. So you can decide the reorder level. You can decide the safety of margin. Then you can decide the vendors also, from where the ready-made continuous and low cost supply or quality of the supply from the vendors. So everything is dependent upon inventory management. Okay. Then profitability monitoring. You can monitor profit on monthly basis, quarterly basis, 6 monthly basis. You can compare the profitability with previous year also. Now coming back to data management, it is very important. There should be optimum utilization of the data resources. Like suppose you are using CC, then it should be optimally utilized. Otherwise, it is a slow poison for your business. Okay, and even you should manage your term loans also. Precise payment of EMI should be there. Okay, if possible, you can prepay the loan amount so that you can reduce the burden of interest also. But for that, you should be knowing the correct EMI structure and correct accounting should be there. You should be knowing the budgetary analysis for the debt management, and then investment management and budget management are there. So whatever the surplus money you have, you should be investing it in multiple areas depending upon your future requirements. It can be a liquid fund, it can be a bank FD, it can be a share market, whatever the case may be. But you should be aware of the future requirements. For that, budget management is also there. So these are the business related issues. And then coming back to compliances. So with the introduction of GST, TDS, the compliances are very stringent. So you should be preparing the data. For example, in case of TDS, the due date is 7th of each month. Then 10th is the GST rate. Then 20th is the again GST rate. So there is n number of due dates during the month, and you should be, or your accountant should be on toes. If you are filing on your own, then it is okay. But if you are filing through your auditor or your chartered accountant, then the correct data should be given to a chartered accountant so that he can, file everything in time and with correct figures. Then bank compliances are there. So stock statements are required to be furnished to banks on periodical basis if you are using CC on the basis of on the basis of stock and debtors. Then periodical balance sheets are demanded. Maybe tentative balance sheets are required by the banks. Various certificates are required by banks. But for issuing any kind of certificate, that certifying authority should be having correct accounting data. Then only it can issue the correct certificate. And sometimes bank required project report for your future demands of term loan. So for forecasting anything, there should be correct accounting data. Otherwise, you cannot forecast in a proper manner. And then it comes to audit compliance. There are multiple audit requirements. Tax audits are there, internal audits are there. Stock audits, if you are taken CC from bank ask for stock audits, then company audits. So there are multiple requirements, and everything, the backbone of every requirement is the correct accounting data. Now, what are the current challenges with the accounting procedure, practices, and data maintenance? So basically, as I said, resource crunch of trained and experienced candidate is always there. All over India, that is the common problem. Everybody is selling in the same way. So, and if suppose you have received a good accountant or trained employee, then labor turnover hits. So to maintain the accountants throughout the year is a very tricky task. Even I experienced that, and as an auditor also, it is very difficult because auditor cannot instill the discipline in the accountant, because if the labor turnover is there, we cannot train the team or we cannot train a single person so that the accounting of the client is perfectly done. So that is the problem. Why? Because there is a stringent timelines. You have to be on toes for filing of all the returns, all the compliances with the government. So that is difficult task. So accounting is not a simple task right now. So the quality of good accountants, and that is to be with the stringent timeline, getting that kind of accountants is a dream right now. Acha, now major problem with the current data is that there is lack of periodic review. Most of the time, what our clients are doing or what the end users are doing, they give everything to chartered accountant, and at the end of the year, chartered accountants go through whatever the data provided and it find out the accounting error or flaws or everything like late payment of GST, TDS, etc. So, and then you end up by paying the penalties or penal interest, etc. So there should be periodic review of the accounting data, maybe quarterly or monthly, or even if you are very strict in discipline, then you can have a weekly review of the data also. Now, for taking a review, there is a lack of expertise, because if you are not expert in accounting and taxation, how you are going to take the review of accounting data? And again, if you are not there, then there should be an expert accountant who should take the responsibility of the reviews, and there should be a continuous updation of knowledge of the accounting team. Okay, so there are multiple changes in GST, TDS are going on. They should be on toes. They should be knowing what is going on, and accordingly they should change their accounting practices. So continuous updation of knowledge is also important part, and that is a challenge. Then lack of financial discipline. It is a very, very, very big problem. So it starts from grouping of the expenditures, then maintenance of accounts. While posting entry, also the narrations are not given properly, or closing of there should be a closing of accounts on periodic basis, on monthly basis actually. So posting because you are using mercantile system of accounting, so posting of prepaid entries or payable entries, provision entries, that is the discipline, so that you can come up with the correct profitability of your organization for that period or for that month. But that discipline is not followed. Then, because suppose in case of Tally, suppose there is a age-wise analysis is there for debtors and creditors. So if you are not using bill-wise accounting and you are posting on account entries, then correct aging analysis is not there. So it may hamper your working capital. You are not aware of what are the amounts you are getting, and that too with what is the period between your payments and your receipts. So if correct aging analysis is not there, you cannot determine the correct working capital requirements and working capital cycle. And that is the problem right now. We are struggling with our clients also. And lack of timely availability of information, thereby lack of effective MI. So if accounting data is not prepared, you cannot get proper information at the time you require it. And so on the basis of that loose information, the MIS is also not effective one. So these are the currently problems with the accounting practices. Now, coming back to accounting data maintenance, there is no discipline is maintaining of Tally data maintenance. Like there are ledger master, they are not adequately updated. So missing GST number, missing PAN numbers, there are no narrations with the voucher entries, no correct invoice number in the purchase or sale entries, thereby problem with the GST or 2A2B reconciliation. These are the problems. Then data duplication is there. Most of the time, same GST number is posted to multiple ledgers, or same PAN number is posted to multiple ledger masters. That is a problem. So filing of TDS data or filing of GST return is very problematic. Then accountants are not experienced, then they commit errors of omission, wrong accounting entries, laziness in punching information narration. That is another problem. You have to be, so you have to follow them up to update their information, update their accounting skill as knowledge. Very problematic situation right now. Now, wrong payment of statutory dues leads you to penal interest, etc. So that is a problem with wrong accounting of data. That's why you are not able to capture the correct data or correct amount to be paid for GST, TDS, PAV, SIC, etc. Whenever there is a delay in payment or wrong payment of the dues, the penal interest is there. And if that penal interest is not paid, then cumulative penal interest is there. So you should be aware of what is the correct amount should be paid. So that is the problem with the data maintenance. Again, if your data is not maintained properly, there can be a delay in payment of statutory dues and filing of the returns. If you are filing on your own, that is a different story. But when you are filing through the chartered accountant, again, if you don't provide the correct data to the chartered accountant, he is not able to file in timely basis, and again, it will attract the penal interest also. There is a lack of expertise in accounting and taxation field. Businessmen should be aware of the core areas like TDS, GST, and because they are the areas where you can there are disallowances which can heavily affect the accounting profit. So that's why there are some of the areas there should be expertise in the knowledge, or at least the working knowledge should be there. And then again, if data is not maintained properly, there is a delay of submission in data to CA office, then your audits are prolonged, then your filing of income tax returns is also prolonged because of delay in filing of data. Again, submission of incorrect data with CA office takes time because they find out errors, they come to you, your accountant correct the errors, then again take review. So it is a time-consuming process. And if the data is not correctly filed, then there is a difficulty in bifurcation of data for GST and TDS. So there is requirement of GST. So the need of bifurcation is like there should be bifurcation of party-wise, rate-wise, TDS, GST category-wise, and input-output-wise bifurcation. And in case of TDS, there is a requirement of category-wise, rate-wise, party-wise, and expenditure-wise bifurcation of data. So if data is not correctly maintained, then it is very difficult to bifurcate the data. For example, in the case of GST, there can be a multiple accounting style. For example, you can have only CGST, HGST, IGST ledgers, and you can have GST rates maintained at ledger master levels of expenses or at GST classification or at stock item level. But if that is not followed with discipline, then bifurcation is very difficult. These are the current problems. I have just summarized the points. Now, what are the advantages of expert system, usage of expert system? Like Ledger Vision is an expert system. So it replaces the expertise of the chartered accountants, I can say. Suppose you are not having a proper knowledge of the detail accounting information or income tax, GST, TDS. You can use Ledger Vision. Ledger Vision is a very fast software. Suppose there are 10,000 accounting entries in the system, it checks in 3 to 4 minutes, and all the areas are checked. So it is real-time checking, and it reviews like expert. So you don't have to have an expert. You can check the data. You can take the review through the softwares. Then continuous review will improve the working and knowledge of accountants. So once you start following of the accountants, they know that owners are taking review on periodic basis. They will be on their toes. There will be improved discipline, and their knowledge will also improve because they will not commit mistakes again and again. So that will improve the quality of accounting also. Because of these, due dates will be followed in timely manner. Correct payment of statutory dues will be there. Again, Ledger Vision focus on how data is maintained in time, for example. So it will increase the discipline in data maintenance. Now we are updating the software for automatic tally data updation also. So with the help of this, correct data will be provided for effective MIS, and you can get the correct MIS results. You can take correct decisions based on those MIS. Correct aging of debtors and creditors will have positive impact on your working capital management. And vital information is very readily available, which will be effective. With the help of this information, you can take many decisions within time and with correct precision. Now, in case of data maintenance, discrepancies of data are revealed quickly, like duplication of GST number, duplication of accounting entries, or missing of GST PAN number, etc. is revealed by the software immediately. With the auto update feature, we can update tally data immediately, so you don't have to depend on accountant to update everything. Correct payment of statutory dues, as I said. Then timely filing of returns like GST, TDS, ESIC returns. If you have correct data, correct information, there are multiple softwares available. You have to just map your accounting data to those softwares for TDS filing or GST filing, etc. And they pull the data from your software and your filing is there. So you don't have to go to CA, or you don't have to depend on CA only. There are multiple softwares available in there, like ClearTax is there, WebTail is there, GST Power is there, n number of softwares are there for GST filing and TDS filing. So software will provide you expertise and knowledge, and easy bifurcation of data is there. So what any kind of accounting style is there. Suppose there is a expert accounting style or any basic accounting style, softwares are very so rule engines of software are so strong that they can bifurcate any data. Like as I said, GST data required to be bifurcated, GST rate wise, party wise, expenditure wise, input output wise. The bifurcation is done in seconds by the software. And correct timely submission of data to CA. So because you are taking monthly, quarterly, monthly, or maybe weekly review, correct data will be submitted, that too within time. So your filing of income tax return and completion of audit will be there. Very fast audits will be there, and fast completion of audit and income tax, as I said. So these are the points with data. Now, there are different accounting styles. So let's start with how software handles the data. There can be customized vouchers. Okay. So software takes care of any kind of accounting voucher so that it can it take care of all the accounting. Suppose there are JV entries for, instead of debit note, credit notes, if you are using JV entries, or suppose as sales area wise, you can have prepared the voucher types like sales in Mumbai, sales in Coimbatore, sales in Pune, whatever the case may be. You can have a different sales and purchase voucher, and accordingly you can bifurcate your data of accounting. But software still captures all the data and bifurcates the data, find out the wrong accounting entries, find out the GST TDS bifurcation, find out the tax audit related data. So it is you can have a ready-made expert bifurcation with the help of software. Again, the customized ledger grouping is handled. What is customized ledger grouping? You can have GST input and output under duties and taxes, or you can have GST input under purchases and GST output under sales. That can be handled by software easily. There needs a basic configuration before. For any tally company, there requires a single configuration by the software. No need to maintain standard tally grouping. As I said, customized ledger grouping is captured by the software right now. No need to activate inbuilt tally features. Now I am talking about tally because this Ledger Vision is working on tally. We are updating the software for other softwares like SAP is there, Zoho, QuickBooks is there. So that updated features will be there. So no, you don't have to activate the inbuilt features of the softwares right now. And it handles multiple accounting styles for GST and TDS, etc. So let's start with the Ledger Vision. It is very super fast. As I said, it takes data scrutiny within minutes. So you don't have to wait for hours. You don't have to depend on any skilled employee. With the help of software, it scrutinizes data very fast. And it is a desktop-based version. So no internet is required. So whatever the data pulled by software, it will be kept on your desktop only. So data confidential is maintained, and seamless integration with the tally. Within a click of a button, it pulls data from tally. It is very scalable. There is no limit of number of scrutinies or number of tally companies. Right now, there are 220 rules which covers the area of tax audit, GST audit, wrong accounting entries, wrong your data maintenance of in tally data. So there are 220 reports right now, 222 rules right now, and configurable one. So any kind of accounting style is handled, you need to configure a tally company once in a lifetime. So 4 steps are there. We pull data from tally. One-time configuration is there. We run the scrutiny and reports are generated. I will show one demo. So what are the results generated by the software? In case of GST, we check each and every GST voucher for scrutiny. There can be multiple accounting problems with the GST. Like instead of input entry, output entry is posted, or instead of CGST, SGST, IGST is posted, or both the CGST ledgers are used. So there are 30-40 permutation combinations possible of GST wrong accounting. All the areas are captured by the software. So you can have a monthly review, you can correct the wrong GST entries, and you can find the correct GST return, and you can pay the correct GST. 2A and 2B reconciliation is available. You have to download .json files from the portal. And because we have all the data captured, whenever there are input entries, we compare all the input entries with JSON files, and we provide the 2A 2B reconciliation. Even RCM liability is ready-made available with the Ledger Vision. It will provide in your expenditure-wise, rate-wise, and monthly RCM liability. So you can compare. You will get a ready-made RCM the amount to be paid and amount to be credited, the amount to be taken credited. Suppose you have paid something in April, you have to take the credit in May, then the ready-made table is with you, you can take correct accounting entry for RCM also. So you can decide whether any block credits, wrong inputs is taken. So because there is a bifurcation of expenditure-wise data, so you can identify the block credit also. You can reverse that input also. Then it will find out duplicate GST numbers in your ledger master. You can correct those duplicate GST numbers, and it will segregate data rate-wise, expenditure-wise, party-wise, which is very, very useful for GSTR 9, 9C. Now you must be aware that GSTR 9 and 9C filing is owner's responsibility for the turnover of, say, some threshold limit. If there is a GST audit, then CA will file for you. But if you are going to file the data for GSTR 9 and 9C, then this kind of bifurcation is very, very, very important. Coming back to tax audit, we scrutinize TDS data. You will get all the areas where no TDS is deducted or short TDS is deducted or excess TDS is deducted. Even if I bifurcate the data, TDS category wise, expenditure wise, party wise, rate wise, etc. It will calculate these allowances for you. So if you periodically take the review, you will find out the short or no deduction of TDS, and you can escape from the disallowance for non-deduction or less deduction of TDS. And you will get the ready-made 34A table. 34A table is a table required by chartered accountants for tax audit, which helps. The table is like TDS category wise, expenditure wise, details of the TDS are required to be filed by the chartered accountant. But if your data is there, software will provide you ready-made 34A table. Then it will provide you ready-made tax audit tables like 43B, that is the table for statutory dues, 269 SST, asset addition, deletion, etc. And if you are taking periodic review of the your accounting data, software will let you know the pending accounting entries like pending interest and EMI entries for your loan, or pending interest income for your investments and deposit, or pending drawing entries in case of your individual and HUF. So you must have drawn lot of cash and there is a heavy cash balance in the system. Software will let you know the pending drawing entries also, and it will show you the pending provision entries and prepaid entries. So in a way, it is an expert system. In case of accounting, probable capital expenditure which are routed through revenue expenditure are determined by the software. Even we provide you spelling mistakes in your group name or ledger name. Verification of each debtors and creditors master is there. So whether address is missing or PAN number is missing, GST is missing, your credit number of credit days is missing, that information is captured by the software. If you have given some of the, so suppose now this is for chartered accountants, probable unsecured loan. There is a tendency whenever you provide loans or you borrow the money and you have wrongly kept under the debtors and creditors, then software captures those debtors and creditors where only receipt and payments entries are there, because chartered accountant needs to report those details under 269 SST table. That's why that probable unsecured loan report is very important. And you can decide the higher discount that can be offered. So any discount more than that, the threshold limit is given, then those vouchers will be listed by the software. If you are using bill-wise accounting, then software will provide you open bill references, which is very important. You can take care of open bill references and you will get the correct aging analysis for debtors and creditors. Again, other reports like aging analysis for debtors, creditors is given. Then we provide cash scrutiny under section 48(3), that is amount of more than 10,000 in a single day in cash is paid, or 20,000 is the limit for 269 SST. So there are multiple areas where cash transactions are there and there are limits provided. So section 48(3) is there, 269 SST and ST is there. Even 44AB is there. Suppose you are not crossing the limit of your threshold limit for the tax audit, but you are crossing the turnover of 1 crore, then section 44AB lays down the cash receipts and cash payment details, and it lays down the conditions when tax audit is applicable based on the cash payments and cash receipts. So there is a limit of 5%. So suppose your tax receipts, cash receipts are more than 5% of total tally receipt, or your cash payments are more than 5% of total tally receipt, the section 44AB comes into picture and you are liable for tax audit. So that can be understood by the report. Then if you have negative cash or you have cash expenses, all the bifurcation of data is readily available. Then we provide 20 analytical reports, more than 21. I will read down then demos there. So analysis of data, most of the times exception reports are there, like income and sales entry to creditors, or expense entries to debtors, or voucher type receipt is used for expenditure. So these kind of analytical exception reports are there. Then opening balance reconciliation. Whenever you receive data from chartered accountant after finalization of your balance sheet, he must have passed some adjustment entries, or he must have added some ledgers. So there is a tool, reconciliation of opening balance. It will check what are the closing balances of data received from chartered accountant, and what are the opening balances, whatever the data with you, and it will automatically update the differences, so that you will get the continuance of data, and your closing balances from data received from chartered accountant will be matching with the opening balances with your data. And it will capture the duplication of vouchers also, so that you can change the entry accordingly. And in case of creditors data, as I said, creditors having receipt entries or income entries are captured, or creditors having GST output entries are captured. Creditors having opening credit balance, or creditors having opening debit balance, creditors having closing credit balance, creditors having closing debit balance, accounts cleared up during the year. This is very important report, accounts cleared up during the year. I have captured a fraud with the help of this report with one of my clients. So list of ledgers having no transactions. This is also a good report. Then pending entries, as I already said, pending EMI entries, etc. will be there. And incoming updates, now there will be 194Q and 206C1H. So TDS, TCS will be there. Ready-made MIS reports and dashboards will be there with the software. You will get the sampling of the data with audit mortality, and you will get auto updation of tally data. So with the review, if you find there are errors, if you are satisfied with the errors, you can auto update the tally data within a click of a button. So you don't have to again and again depend on the accountant to update the tally data. And automated benefits, these are the feedback given by the users. So 2,42,000 vouchers are completed within 2.5 hours. So normally it takes 10 days for one CA, 2 managers and 8 articles. So internal audit team, they are working, but with the help of software, it is now completed within 2.5 hours. Okay. There are accounting mistakes, like purchase of motorcycle is debited to staff welfare, that has been captured. Some of the frauds are captured by the software. Incorrect GST, like in case of Gatorade was the energy drink, which was originally it was 40% GST rate was there. Then that rate is reduced, but accountant didn't change the details, and incorrect GST was paid by the client. So all those errors are captured. And there is another tool which will prepare a balance sheet for you, or even it will consolidate tool for you. I will just read the pointers. Basically, same technology is used. It pulls data from Tally seamlessly. It pulls opening and closing balances for previous year and current year. One-time Excel-based configuration is there. Once you configure the data, then you don't have to again and again compare the data, configure the data. Basic thing is, it is our USP. The data output is in Excel format, and it will provide you, if you are a private limited company, you will get Schedule 3. If you are a partnership fund, then you will get T-shaped balance sheet, or for individuals or HO. Then it will prepare depreciation for you. It will calculate deferred tax for you, or income tax or MAT for you. It is very useful for preparation of cash flow statement also, which is very important statement for monthly review or quarterly review, or even yearly review also. There are hyperlinks. You can jump from balance sheet or P&L to notes and vice versa. It provides significant accounting policies, standard management representation data are there. So now consolidation of balance sheet is important. So suppose you are having multiple accounting areas. Suppose you are having a business with multiple branches, and you want to consolidate all the data to understand what is the current profitability, then it can be consolidated. You can have a group company in Tally, but if you want to prepare a balance sheet with consolidated view, our software will be helpful. It saves a lot of time and energy, and it is providing you a standardized output. So now these are our contact details. You can visit our website. You can download our demo version. Now I will jump to our software, and I will just demonstrate how it works. So this is the Tally data. I will just change the period, and this is the ledger vision. So there are scrutiny model is there, reconciliation of opening balance is there, GSTR 2A2B reconciliation is there. You have to select the date. It can be a month, it can be a week, it can be a year, but you should be aware that there should be same period in Tally as well as same period in software. With the button, you can click the pull the data. I am just showing how data is pulled by the software. I am not going into details of configuration. I will just show you how scrutiny is run by the software and how the results are provided, because there is a limitation of time also. So I will be skipping some of the areas because I want to show you only outputs. So this is how software is pulling the data on monthly basis, and this data is kept on your desktop only. So there is no no risk to your data. Data confidentiality and integrity is maintained by the software. So once I pull the data, I will jump to configuration and I will run the scrutiny, and then we can have the question answer session if anyone has any questions. Okay, so it is in December right now. So this company is having 911 ledgers and 2,500 voucher entries. So it takes around 30 to 40 seconds to complete the scrutiny for entire year. That's how software is fast. So let's go for the configuration. It's pulling for March. Okay. So data is pulled successfully. Now we can go for the configuration. I'm skipping the configuration, but I will show how configuration is helpful. There are buttons given, or even audio help is given, like Google Map. Our software ladies also provide you the instruction how to map the company. So I am skipping the details. And let's run the scrutiny. It will map GST related ledgers, TDS related mail. Your 95% of the mapping is done by software automatically. You can take the review. It is suggested for first time you have to take the overview whether software has correctly mapped everything. Their videos are also available on YouTube. If you click Ledger Vision on YouTube, you will get. Okay, so there are rules. Now some mapping are there. Then there are rules. By default, all the rules are ticked. But if you want to check only GST, you can check only GST. For monthly basis, you can check only GST, or you can check only TDS. Right now, I am going for entire scrutiny. So once I click the button TDS scrutiny, software will take all the data automatically. So it is very simple. You don't have to have an expertise of chartered accountant. You don't have to have a knowledge of GST, TDS, tax audit, etc. Software will help you, and thereby your accounting data will be maintained in a proper manner, and you will get informed. You can take informed decisions based on that accounting data. So the scrutiny is about to complete. So there are 222 rules, and it performs simultaneous checking of vouchers with all the rules. So only 36 seconds are required, and these are the results. So all the results are visible on system also. You can download all the results to Excel. So analytical results are there, GSTR reports are there, TDS and tax audit related results are there, aging analysis is there, some additional data related reports are there, and you can have a opening balance reconciliation, GSTR 2 and 2 reconciliation. So because there is a limitation of time, I'm not going to explain the report, but there are videos available on the website. I will show you the website. So ledgervision.in is the website. You can go through the videos. You will understand how software works. And if you want, you can download the demo version also. But definitely it is helping me and my clients, and we are not working on late nights. We don't have to follow our accountants for data. Everything is readily available. Even owners are satisfied with their progress in data maintenance, and accountants are also happy because they are gaining knowledge and they are on toes right now. So this is in overview page. This is our YouTube page. You will get all the features and all the detailed and short videos how to operate a software. Even you can go through this video for Ledger Vision reports explain is the video. All the reports are explained here. So Chitra madam or sir, over to you. I have explained everything because I think only 10 minutes are there. So if anybody is having any questions or suggestions, we can have the discussion.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Any question answers from the audience? Questions from the audience? Sorry.
Because very limited time was there, I would have liked to explain all the reports, but right now.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This laser vision,
Huh?
it's a program or what is actually it's a software?
It is a standalone software. It is a
It is
desktop
based on
standalone
which,
software.
it is based on which language actually?
.NET.
Okay.
.NET and database used is SQL-like.
Hmm.
And it is very easy to use. User-friendly model is there. And once you pull the data and configure the Tally company, next time onward, it is a plug and play.
Okay.
saves
And
lot
what
of
is
time
the
and
what is the service after sales?
Our staff is there 12 into 7. So we are having a half day on Saturday. So all of the year, our staff, our me is there available. You will get all the services. On call or online services are there. Our staff will help you with the help of any days for whatever the online solution we have.
Whether it will support our multi-user Tally?
Yes. So it supports single user as well as multi-user. Even if suppose your staff is working from home, so multi-user works on your VPN, remote desktop, cloud. So all the networking solutions are captured by the software.
Mr. Niranjan, is it only for Tally or other version?
Right now it is on Tally. We are working for SAP, Zoho, QuickBooks, and in North India, the Busy is the thing. In Gujarat, the Miracle is the software. So, but it was very easy to develop on Tally because I am having too many companies to test the data. Now we are struggling for testing because development is very easy, but testing and getting the data for testing is very difficult. But so we are there, but maybe 4-6 months time we will be able to launch the software for other tools also.
And we have
Or
a huge
other-
volume actually. My volume around sales, my
Sorry?
sales invoices around 8,000
Huh?
and purchase invoices around 4,000
Correct.
and cash voucher, payment voucher, general voucher put together around you can say around 7,000.
Okay. So it is very small from the point of view of laser vision. It is very small data. As I said, I am having one of the internal audit having 41,000, 42,000 monthly entries. So it takes around 10 minutes to complete the scrutiny, and because that company is very huge, 350 crores companies there, and there is a team of 16 accountants and one CFO. Now this software is used by CFO, and he can check the all accounting entries done by all 16 accountants. So it takes only 10 minutes to complete the scrutiny by him.
So in Tally, I have to do something, or I need not do anything in Tally data?
No, you don't have to change anything in Tally. Software is very configurable one. We will help you to configure your Tally company. Once it is done, it is very plug and play. Very simple.
You will help us in configuring the Tally, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we will teach you, we will train you also. But it is very simple. Logical flow is there from groups to ledgers. So very
Any
simple.
one or two live examples, by scrutiny, you found out something big.
Yeah.
Any one or two examples?
Yeah. I will show you.
Who is
For
your major
example,
client here in Chennai? Any client in Chennai?
yeah, I can let you know the client details. Right now, I don't have. So, sir, is my screen is visible, sir? Tally ledger scrutiny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
visible.
yeah.
So, for example, software is showing the results on pass and fail. So, suppose you select fail in status report. So, you will get all the problematic areas. Like here, you can say it is showing bill references, voucher number, everything is NA because we are taking totality view. For example, in case of 194C, we see whether total credit entries or total payment entries are crossing rupees 1 lakh. If it is not crossing 1 lakh, then any single payment entry is there for more than 30,000 rupees. Then it is liable to TDS. Otherwise, it will be not liable to TDS. And then we see whether no TDS is deducted or less TDS is deducted. For example, in this case, that client has paid interest on unsecured loan. So if I go to Tally, I can show you interest on unsecured loan. So they have paid interest on unsecured loan, but they have not paid to any party. They have directly paid from bank. Okay. And again, no TDS is deducted. So software is saying, software has considered bank as a party, and software is saying this entry is failed because no TDS is deducted. Technically, there should be 1,800 rupees as a TDS. Or even in case of audit fees, 50,000 rupees is the provision, and they have not deducted 5,000 rupees. Instead of they have paid only 2,000. So less TDS is there. So if I go to Tally, audit fees paid. So you can see only 2,000 is deducted as a TDS. Technically, there should be 5,000 rupees as a TDS. So there are n number of errors, and this is the TDS expenditure wise. So you will get parties as well as expenses. So TDS category is there, rates are there, party names are there, expenditure names are there, and software is saying whether TDS is liable, not liable, excess TDS paid or not liable, still paid, whatever the case may be. And at the end, it is showing the amount liable to TDS, what should be the, so on this amount, there's what is the applicable TDS, what is not, what is the amount actually deducted, and accordingly it is calculating this allowance also.
Very
Similarly, it will show you cash sections like I said 48.3. Whenever there is a cash payment crossing the limit given by the section, it will give you the details section, the limit, the date, the person or the expenditure ledger, and the amount. Okay. You will get statutory reduced report ready-made. So all ESIC, PF, GST, TDS, ESIC, PTRC, everything will be there, and software will see whether payments are made or not during the due date. For example, in case of ESIC payable, in the month of April, due date is not April. It is the 15th of April is the due date for the opening balance of April. Means March payment should be made before April. April payment made should before May, and so on. So software is considering whether payment is done before. There are two columns given. If payment is done before due date, that will be appearing in this column. If delay payment is there, that will be appearing here. So 15th is the date, and they have paid on 16th of April. And even 5.3 instead of 5.357, they have paid only 2.486. So software has shown that 1 month delay is there, and it has calculated the monthly interest also.
Yes.
So next month you have to pay the amount with the interest, so that the cumulative interest will not be there. Otherwise, cumulative interest will be there. So this is how you will get the ready-made data, and accordingly you have to take the actions so that you will not be penalized with the interest, etc.
Good, sir. Good.
So,
Very interesting.
yes, sir. So when you go through the demo version, you can try it on your own, or if you want, we can provide full version for a couple of days. You can try it on your own. We will map your tally company. We will provide you the reports, and you can go through the reports and you can find out whether they are useful or not.
I would like to have demo in my office.
Yes, sir. Our team will provide you a demo. No problem. You can contact Chitra madam. She will. These are our contact details. You can contact us. You can write us to even ledgervision@gmail.com is our this thing, or sales@indigroup.com. You can write us, or you can call me, and we can have demonstration at your office also. Even if you want on your own, tally data can be demonstrated. No problem. So time is limited. Otherwise, I would have discussed this for 2 or 2.5 hours, and I would have explained all the results in details. But for that, we can have.
You're based in Bangalore, huh?
No, we are based in Pune, Maharashtra.
Pune.
But we are having too many clients in South India: Hyderabad, Bangalore, Cochin, Chennai, Hampi.
In Chennai, do you have any client?
I will let you know who are the. Most of them are chartered accountants, because they have approached us from YouTube and all these things.
Okay. In commercial, any client?
Sorry, end users.
Commercial, any client is there?
In South India, not there, but we are.
No, in commercial, not in professional, not an audit firm. Commercial organization.
That's what I'm saying. The other than chartered accountants, we don't have any client in South India for those. Okay. But we are working on that. We are setting up our networking channel so that we can approach all kinds of end users who want this kind of.
You have very good nice presentation, sir.
Yes, sir.
But, program is really very helpful.
Yes, sir. You do take a demo version, download, and you can contact me. I will help you out, or our team will help you out.
I've noted down a number. I'll give you a call, and I would like to have a demo in my office.
Great, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you, sir. We had a very interesting session today. And can we conclude the session with the vote of thanks, sir?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
May I now invite Mr. V. Nagappan, President-elect, Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to propose vote of thanks.
Yes. I will stop my presentation.
Good evening, friends, and thank you, CA Niranjan O, founder of NDCube Technologies Private Limited, for talking about enhancing the quality of accounting and financial standards. It was an interesting presentation, and I'm sure that the participants would have immensely benefited. out of the presentation and the interaction what they had with you. Once again, thank you for the same. And